but it's just, I think it's seen as it's in the gift category and the city council person, and so it just gets messy. Yes, she is. And now you have this letter. I don't know, Matthew, if you had this in-kind donation letter before, but this should make
Right.
things much easier
Right.
when you go to
So
them.
I was able to review the.
I mean, I'm sorry, George,
Oh.
Commissioner
It's
Herrera.
okay.
I don't
It's
know
okay.
why I keep
It's
calling you
okay.
Matthew.
Well, I was able to review the letter, and I understand it's a draft. So, are we making any changes, or are we good to go? And I can provide the letter already. Start handing out this letter.
Yeah, if the commission doesn't have any additional edits or things that would help draw people in to donate to the cause, then I can send you the PDF if there's no amendments.
And if I know that Commissioner Khan did recommend some bags, I think that's a good idea. If there's going to be giveaways, I don't know if one of the people or one of the vendors are going to have bags, but if they're not, please let me know, and then I can reach out to a couple people that will be more than willing to provide complimentary bags, those big grocery, those new style cloth bags. Okay.
Um, just a clarification, how many spa gift cards did you say? You don't know?
They said 10. One of the places said 10, and I was surprised. I
Okay.
said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yes." So I think that's very generous. And to be exact, the spa gift card and what it includes, advanced facial for 90 minutes, deep tissue massage for 60 minutes. I think you could either choose one or the other.
Wow.
But she said 10 at the New Life Beauty and Wellness. So if anybody else, and I will also, I know we talked about, originally we thought we were going to bring some gift cards, so I'll have a Starbucks one myself. So I don't know how we're going to do this. I guess give it to you, Matthew?
Right.
And then we talk about Starbucks, and that brings up Starbucks. So maybe I can reach out to Starbucks to provide some coffee. I don't know. Coffee's always good, right? Maybe they can donate some coffee. Okay, I'll reach out to Starbucks as well.
So my suggestion would be our next meeting is August 23rd, which will be just about 3 weeks before our event. So if at the next meeting, the committee can bring kind of all of our final information. So a schedule of events, a map with the layout, all of the booths that have confirmed. We'll have any donations that we're going to provide. Either we will have given them to Matthew, or we will bring them to the next meeting so that we have an idea, and any other information that we'll need, because the next meeting is it.
Right, pretty much
We will
it,
need to
yeah.
finalize everything at the next meeting.
So if you do have other sources, reach out to them, and do you just provide that to Matthew, I guess, all the information, if you are able to receive any donations or anything. And then once we get the promotional materials to Matthew, we need to just send them out and get people interested and excited about this event.
So as far,
Go ahead, after you.
Go ahead. Okay.
After you.
So as far as these generous individuals and businesses that are providing the gift cards and the resources, do we want to provide a booth for them to, like a section off, like a food area for them, like a booth, and they can set up to help them out as well? Or how do you guys want to present that?
Yeah,
So-
I don't know. I mean, maybe Matthew has a little bit
We-
more expertise in this area.
So far, I don't think we've asked for money from anyone. If that booth or place or the company is relevant to what we're doing, we can consider the booth. Other than that, I think we can't just get anybody in there.
Right, and this would just be like a little section for food where they go. This is the food place, this is the other display areas. So this would be just, my idea is just one little section with like 4 tables where we have the food, at least just for the food. Now for the gift cards, that might be something different. I don't know if we do want to have these. It is, right? It's
Well, I
part of.
thought that those were going to be part of our giveaways.
Yeah.
And so at the next meeting, maybe once we have an inventory of exactly what we have, then we can decide the best way to utilize it is with the food also. You know, if it's not going to be a large amount of food, we might decide to reserve it for the volunteers, let's say.
Right.
Or, you know, if we're not going to have enough for 200 people
right.
or whatever,
Right.
it might not be a good idea to put it out and offer it to the public. So
Right.
at the next meeting, once we have a more concrete notion about what exactly we have, then we can make
Right,
that
so
decision.
just, okay, good. I just want to understand so that I can talk to them and communicate that with them, because I want to be as clear as possible with them.
But
Cool.
Matthew did mention at the last meeting that we aren't able to provide kind of recognition, is that
No,
correct? So,
that's
we're not
fine.
gonna have a sponsorship
N-
page
right,
or
right.
a banner with kind of, these are our partners or
Our
sponsors.
sponsors, right.
So they would,
Right.
obviously, their information would be out there. People will
Right.
have Starbucks cups.
Right.
But we won't be able to acknowledge them further than that.
Got it.
Maybe instead of food, maybe she could provide water. We could hand out bottles of water.
I would rather do food, as I can buy myself water bottles. That's the
Well,
food is
and the
more
San Gabriel
expensive.
Valley Water
Yeah.
District often provides water for events. And
So maybe
so
we should reach out to them. I don't
Mhm.
have a contact. Matthew, can you connect me
I
with
can
somebody?
find a
or-
contact for them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you want to reach out to them?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
But that's a good point. We should have water, but I don't think I want to scratch out, make it easier on them and say no food. Give me water instead. Give us water instead. But good point.
So if we were to get pastries and bakery items from, for example, Bristol Myers or Bristol Farms, rather not Myers but Farms, or a place like that, what are we going to do with it? So
Depends on how much we get.
Right.
So let's say you get it you can even get it for about 100 people. Are we going to be able to use it, or just for our volunteers? What?
No, I mean, if you really got 100 items, then we would find a way to utilize it. We'd
Right.
either put it out as a refreshment table at the different workshops, or we would utilize it in some other way. But if they gave us a dozen donuts, then, we would need to use those for volunteers. So
Right.
that's why I think at the next meeting, we'll have a better idea about what
So
we have and how best to utilize it.
I would like to explore the idea of that if there is an opportunity that we can get good quantity of items, are we capable of giving out, and then would we have arrangements so that we'll have to provide napkins, we'll have to provide the rest of the
Right.
stuff? Are we going to have, I mean, I can actually, potentially, yes, I can get them, but is that a place for us to do that? I mean, yes, for volunteers, that's great, no problem.
I mean, I guess my recommendation would be nothing that isn't, we're not gonna be able to cook anything. So it has to
Of
be
course.
ready-made.
Right.
Of course.
Ready to
And,
go.
and handed, and I'm, just being like, we can't warm anything up. It just has
No,
to
that's
be.
fine.
And preferably even something that is, packaged
Right.
almost. But it could not be. I guess we're out of that much concern for COVID. But it just has to be something easy where whatever volunteers we have is just handing it out, to first come,
To
first serve.
To volunteers.
No,
Not
to
the
the
folks who
public,
come.
if we have enough for the public.
So the first
So
part-
let's say we get these, I'm just trying to sort of get to the nitty-gritty, so that if I were to arrange and ask them for help, and if they were to give us these cakes, the round ones, and then the rest of the bakery items and stuff, and we have them here, is there someone's gonna be able to cut up and then distribute to the people? I mean, I didn't think we were doing that ahead of time, but if we're gonna do it, there's an opportunity that we can get that too.
So
I
that
don't
go-
know if there's a place, and I think,
So I think that goes back to
Commissioner
having a
Rano, I believe.
designated food area, and it goes back to how many items we're gonna get, right? And how many people are we expecting? Like Chair Jennings Nunez mentioned, volunteers will be priority at this point, right? Making sure that they're getting the food.
No, I don't want to imply that the volunteers are that we are getting donations to feed the volunteers. I
Right.
don't think
Right,
that that's
right.
the
The
priority.
purpose was for
My question
everybody
is,
else, yeah.
right, my question is just, it just depends on what is donated. If we get enough for 30 people, then that's probably the volunteers. If we get enough for 200 people, then we
Right.
can open it to the public.
Right.
So it's a little hard to speak in terms of what ifs. I say if you get some organization or some grocery store to donate 12 cakes, we will cut those 12 cakes up some kind of way and distribute
Yeah,
them.
and-
But let's see what we have. So if you
Right.
think that you have a source that can literally donate something for a couple hundred people, we will find a way to distribute it, I think, I'm speaking for the committee,
Right.
but you're on the committee. So
Hey,
if you're on the committee and you make it happen, we'll make it happen.
Well, if it I mean, it can happen. The only thing is that our priority? It can happen for 200 people, no problem.
Well, the way that,
No.
you want to go ahead? The way that it generally came up, if I remember correctly, is that we mentioned, or I mentioned, that it would be nice to have food for the people that come, right? So that's how this all started. Um,
Again, it's depends upon Commissioner Bernha, and if that's one of the things that we want to do, then I can.
You can ask.
I
I mean,
can-
I don't think it depends on my opinion personally. I think that, you know, if it's nice to have food and you can get 200, enough for 200 people or whatever, then great. You know, like Chair Jennings Nunez said, we will give it out. You know,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that it's like a super high priority, but like
Right.
it's great. It's great to offer things to the public. They would love to come in and have
Right.
a treat or something.
If
I
it's
don't
gonna
think.
be no cost to us,
Yeah.
right? Then, by all means, first come, first serve,
Yeah.
too, right?
From
Okay.
a staff perspective, I would recommend staying, maybe if, I think you mentioned, there was, and I'm blanking on the name, one of the local businesses is donating actual food,
Right.
potentially.
Lunas? Yeah.
Lunas, thank you. And they're down the street from our office. Maybe sticking to just that and maybe not going anything beyond that would actually need to be served or having utensils or anything like that.
Now
Any
we're
like
talking.
snacks or other treats maybe would maintain in the prepackaged. I'll say just from experience, granted, I think the summer concerts and movies are a good example, but not necessarily to scale for this event. When we are even making popcorn, we have a long line of people before
Right.
we even start serving it. So I don't think you'd necessarily want that for this purpose. You'd want them focusing on the expo or focusing on the, yeah.
'Cause-
So just that's my 2 cents. Of course, the commission can determine the best direction, but I would recommend that.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we have enough items for the bakery items,
But
then you're gonna have to serve coffee
Yeah.
also. I
But
guess.
so I would say we're expanding. I agree with Matthew. If you can get prepackaged little cookies, little snack cake, or little granola bars and things that can easily be handed out, then that's great. If we're cutting cake and putting it on plates and serving with forks and would you like some coffee and all those things, I think we're getting away from the main focus.
That's
So it would be nice if they can stop by a table and drop something in the little bag. Beyond that, I think would be too much.
But we can have for volunteers, of course. Yes.
Okay, anything else? Okay, so our next meeting will be where we come with final details to discuss. Good, thank you. So moving on to National Night Out, which is August 2nd, so it is about next Tuesday, one week from today. What we need to discuss, so we are going to have a booth at National Night Out. So the first thing we need to discuss is just who is available to man that booth. In terms of booth hours, certainly the event is from 6 to 9 here in the Mission District. I don't know where our booth will be. We'll find out that day. You can stay the entire time, or we can do shifts. We need, someone has to be there to set up, so probably we need to start at 5:30, and then we will end about 9:30 in terms of taking things down. So 5:30 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9:30 might be the shifts, is a suggestion.
What date was this? I'm sorry. August 2nd?
August 2nd.
August 2nd.
So it can start by just taking a poll of who is available on August 2nd.
Is that a Saturday?
It's a Tuesday,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Okay. And the time frame is 6 to 9?
6 to 9 is the actual event, so we would need to get there a little earlier just to set up our booth, whatever that is going to mean,
Okay, you
and
can,
then to remove any materials at the end.
I can do the whole day, 6 to 9.
Excellent. Okay,
Well,
George will
actually,
be
let
there.
me check my schedule.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm
So,
sorry. Let me check my
Commissioner Khan,
schedule.
are you available on Tuesday?
I can spend time, yes. I
Okay,
can come out.
and Commissioner Herrera, yes.
I'm gonna have to check my schedule, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It says there, okay. Oh, no, I have it on my schedule already, I'm going.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
might as well set me up, yeah.
And Commissioner, Vice Chair Godo?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
available.
I'm available. Commissioner Fitzsimmons, will you be there? You're going to be with the police department. Okay. Commissioner Borja? Okay. And Commissioner Benoit?
I'm,
Okay.
I'm available the whole time, yeah.
Okay. So, Matthew, I don't know if we have to decide the shift times during the meeting, but since we've all indicated that those will be there, can we just send out a sign-up
Yep.
sheet for the times? So we don't have to go through
And just a
the
quick
whole
correction,
discussion.
the event starts at 5, so 5.
Right, that's
Oh,
what
I
I
thought it
saw.
said 6 to 9.
Yeah, I
on
have
the-
it as 5 in my calendar.
So is it 5 to 9 or 5 to
5 to 9.
5 to 9?
Yeah.
Oh,
Setup is at 4.
goodness. Okay. 5 to 9.
All right, since
Thank you.
it got moved to 5, I can't be there.
Yeah,
I'm
it looks
kidding.
like
I'll be there
potentially
at
there
5.
was some information that went out from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that may have been what you were referencing.
Okay, but it's from
Yeah,
5 to 9.
And I'll triple check with Stacy.
Good,
from PD.
good.
Okay.
So just to understand clearly, are we gonna have a table?
Yes.
And I know we don't have a budget, and I know that possible we can get something. Can we get a tablecloth that says "Here Commission" or something with the logo? I mean, it's only like about $100 or something like that.
I'm fast, but not that fast.
Oh, because right.
Yeah.
But for future, I think we should have something more presentable.
That is something we can talk offline, right? Do we don't have to figure out in the meeting exactly what's going to be at the booth, or in
Correct.
terms of our
As-
decorating the booth? Is that something
Correct,
we
yeah,
can
as
speak
far
about?
as
Okay.
August 2nd is concerned, that doesn't necessarily have to be decided.
Okay.
As far as what staff will provide, we'll have a tablecloth. It may not be fancy, but it will definitely be a tablecloth. We'll have anything that you're looking for to have there. We can have the quarter sheets of the
Survey.
Survey, thank you. And we can have an A-frame of the survey as well to really draw people in, or maybe that just says "Here Commission." So we can definitely, on our end, work on
Will we
that.
have a tent?
You'll have a canopy.
Okay, a canopy.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So Matthew will distribute, or the city will distribute kind of a sign-up sheet. You don't have to be there from 5 to 9. Obviously, if you want to be there and you're available for the whole time, but we'll make sure that all of those hours are covered in terms of having someone at the booth. Okay. Good. Thank you. Any other questions or suggestions for the booth? And we will try to find something to attract people to our booth. I just don't know what it'll be yet. We'll work with Matthew.
Will the shifts include the setup then, starting like 4:30 or
Mhm.
4:30? Okay, good.
We need to be set up by
4.
4:45, or does anyone know what? 4:45?
I'll reference back to the
Okay.
email that I think Stacy just sent it out, or maybe I just read it.
Okay.
So I'll reference all of that before I send out the sign-up sheet.
Perfect, thank you.
So item 2C, in terms of additional annual work plan information, guest speakers. So this is part of our packet as well. Matthew put in it that we do have guest speakers for our next 3 meetings. So on August 23rd, we're going to have someone either from our local county clerk office. I know Sharon Clark is aware, or someone from the, and at the last city council meeting, she referenced coming to the Here Commission meeting. So I think it's going to be Sharon Clark, our chief city clerk, will be coming to discuss just election information and education. And then September 27th is Nora Maldonado, who's from the LA County Department of Mental Health, that our committee is very familiar with, and she maybe will come and give us a wrap-up of our expo and also just some additional information. And then October 25th, Elio Lopez from Foothill Family Clinic, is it, or Center?
Yeah, I think it's
Services.
just Foothill Family
Okay.
is the name.
Okay. Okay, will be coming to speak with us. So if you have any additional speaker for November, maybe you can let Matthew know at our next meeting. December, at least last year in December, we took a break. And
Yeah.
so we'll see if we have our December meeting or not, but November we may be meeting.
And we are recommending that we actually don't have or the commission doesn't have a guest speaker in November and December.
Okay.
To focus on the 2023 work plan, because I think we needed
Oh,
the
okay.
extra meeting, because most likely you'll develop in November, approve in December, and
Perfect.
then it'll go to council for approval.
Great. So thank you, Matthew, for confirming all those speakers, for getting that information. Are there any questions or
Yeah,
for
is
Matthew?
Nora going to be there on September 18th with us? Nora McDonald? I mean, Maldonado?
at the event?
At the event, at our event? on the 18th?
Probably. I saw her at the Surf's Up event. I
She's
assume
been
so.
at almost every event where the
Yeah.
Department of Mental Mental Health or Health
Mental
Services or
wellness.
the Department of, yes. They have been at several events lately, and she has been at the table almost every time, so I'm sure she will be there on the 18th as well. Good. And then the last item for Police Department data collection, Mark touched on this a little bit at the last meeting in terms of AB 953. That's the racial profiling and equity report. And Matthew, I think, is going to contact the police department because we had asked if they could provide us information in August, and so he's just going to reach out to them and in terms of that report. And we talked about that a little bit last time. Are there any questions for that one? And then the other one is Assembly Bill 481 that was mentioned at the last City Council meeting. This is the concerning the inventory, use, and acquisition of military and military-style equipment. So this Assembly Bill kind of came into being and requires local law enforcement to provide an inventory of their military-style equipment annually, as well as to let the public know how it has been used in the last year, you know, if they are requesting any new acquisitions. And so at that last meeting, my understanding is that a report of that information is going to come to the HERE Commission. I don't know what I'll let Mark take her from there. If was there anything else, Mark, that you wanted to say about that? I had some notes and now I can't read them.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. I'm happy to answer any questions. There really isn't much more than what you mentioned. The Assembly Bill does require that we post a notice of that list and then present it to the public. And so we felt in trying to meet the requirements of the Assembly Bill that the HERE Commission stands directly in getting that word out to the public. So we felt like not only putting it on our website would be what San Gabriel should do, but also to present it at least once a year to the HERE Commission. So in 2023, what we would recommend is making that part of your work plan, that you receive that report, and then we would present that in July of 2023, which would be the recap of the year in review of what we did with that equipment, as you summarized, Chair.
And I guess what I didn't understand from the meeting was if there is currently a report that's coming to the HERE Commission, but then at another point, Chief Harris mentioned that the first report would be in July of 2023, but then it kept referencing a report being given that night. So that's why I was a little confused about when we should expect something here.
Sorry about that. So the initial report was part of the staff report that we did that night, and there is a list of that inventory, a list of that equipment. There's like 15 categories, I think, of military style or military equipment that cities use in California, and we had 3 of those. And so if you look in that report, you'll see an inventory of that. We are actually coming back on the 18th or 19th, I can't remember the exact date, the second meeting in August, with an ordinance that memorializes the adoption of that policy, and so that list will be in there again. And so that is already done. So after that adoption of the ordinance will be done for the initial report, but then going forward, so every year in July, we would present a report to the HERE Commission with an inventory of anything that is used throughout the year and what inventory we still have.
Thank you.
Of course. Any questions on that? It is what you would envision as military equipment counts, but also other things like non-lethal rounds that they use during demonstrations or things like that, as well as some of the other tools they use like tear gas and other things.
So if you would like a preview of the report, you can listen to the July 19th meeting. Chief Harris gives about a 20-minute presentation towards the beginning, just explaining what this Assembly Bill requires, and just mention the HERE Commission, and so I perked up, and so what our responsibility will be in just getting the information out to the public. Okay, very good. Is there any, are there any other comments or questions concerning our 2022 annual work plan?
There's an update about the youth survey.
Good, good.
So, did you want to mention, well, first, I wanted to mention that we will be including the youth's engagement survey, the questionnaire, in the backpack giveaway.
I don't think the commission knows about the backpack distribution, so we need to introduce that.
So, yeah, go ahead and introduce
Okay,
the backpack.
this would be the first year that we'll be working with the school district, San Gabriel School District, the mosque and the ICNA relief. In conjunction with that, we're working with school district to distribute up to 1,400 backpacks for elementary children, students. So up to about 5th grade, there will be these bags could be used, and they're very nice bags. And then there are some school items in there. So this distribution is going to take place on Thursday, which is 2 days from now. On between it starts at 2:30, so 4:30 and up. So that what it takes about an hour, but we'll be prepping at 2:30 at the Roosevelt School, elementary school, and the superintendent and of course Jackie's in there too, and and then you can now introduce your.
Yes, and that'll be a drive-by,
Yes.
right, for families to pick up.
Yes.
So Matthew so graciously accepted last-minute distribution of creating the youth survey form with a QR code, and we would put them in the backpacks.
Nice.
And so hopefully the families will be able to fill out our surveys while being given a backpack. Yes, thank you so much, Matthew.
So that's
And
what-
in terms of who is available for that backpack, is it being promoted throughout the district,
Y-
not just for Roosevelt
It's
students? Is it?
first to the Roosevelt School, elementary school, and also to the rest of the school districts, because we've got up to 1,400 bags.
Okay.
And of course, while we're at it, we need volunteers. So if here commission members want to participate, that'll be ideal. And then if they can bring some more people, that'll be great too. We can use as many volunteers as possible.
And this is on Thursday? you
It's
said?
on Thursday. It starts
This Thursday.
Yes, 2 days from now. So we're bringing people from the mosque and from the school district. There are a few teachers are also coming in, and Commissioner Moore has been gracious enough to not only let the rest of the counselors know, but also I'm sure she's bringing a few volunteers with her too. So
If there are volunteers, they just show up at Roosevelt at
Yes.
2:30?
correct.
Okay, I can ask our PTA and see if they wanna, because I did get a notice from the school district that they were doing the backpack distribution, so I think it did go out to the whole school district. But I can ask for some volunteers.
This is drive-through, so it's probably going to last no more than an hour, but the prep time is going to be about a couple hours. But
So 2:30 to 5:30?
No, the starting time is, well, the
4.
volunteer time, yes.
Yeah, the volunteer time, so 2:30 to 5:30.
I would
Okay,
say so.
all right.
Okay. Thank you. If there isn't,
Could I ask what the status is on the approval of the youth ambassador application?
That was part of my update, so thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I jumped the
no,
gun.
No, I appreciate that.
And before,
That was a perfect transition.
oh wait,
uh,
before I wanted to ask something about the survey. Can I, before we transition? Where are we at right now? How many numbers?
So unfortunately, I didn't have that data prepared for you today. It hasn't gone up substantial, but they have been trickling in here and there. Next meeting, I can definitely have more of a push. That actually brings me to kind of the staff error, my error on there. That at the bottom of the survey, it still references the initial cutoff rather than the August 2nd cutoff. So my recommendation would be that we extend it, or the commission extends it till August 31st as a cutoff. We have the backpack giveaway now. Potentially we may have another backpack giveaway in the city as well. That now that this great idea is here, we could potentially implement that. And then National Night Out. So we could do a raffle later on if the commission's open to that. Yeah.
does that require a motion or just a general consensus?
I think there were
Yes.
plenty of head nods.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So the QR code we're going to use, that would be through your commission, am I right? The survey we're gonna pass out, we'll use your commission as as a publisher so that we can get the results and evaluate them, right? That's the intent.
It's the same survey that's been circulated previously.
Is that the same survey we're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay,
the QR
that's
code
fine.
takes you to that survey.
It's good, I guess.
And then in terms of Vice Chair Godo's question concerning the
Yes, thank
youth
you.
ambassador, yes.
So it's done. It's just in the city attorney's office awaiting review. I have pushed it back to hopefully get an update. So we'll push again and see if we can get something back. There's a couple of pending items. So hopefully I know the Playhouse has been dealing with our department on or the city attorney's office has been working with our Playhouse division on quite a few things that have kind of taken priority, understandably so. So we'll bring these back up. So hopefully we'll have an update next meeting.
It would be nice if we could have it by September because
Yes.
school's going back in, and then I think by September the students are they're already looking for clubs and organizations in August, but certainly things will have settled down, and hopefully in September they will be open to looking at participating in our commission.
No, sir. The other one is the Land Acknowledgement Statement Advisory Committee. So my apologies, Chair Jennings and Commissioner Brenha. We have a tentative date of August 11th. It seemed like that was the date that worked best for everyone. So I'll confirm one last time with everyone, but that should be good to go, and hopefully that will be one or two last meetings to wrap that up before it comes back to the other two commissions.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. Any other concerns, questions? It is. It is. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on to agenda item number 5, commission reports. We'll start at the end with Commissioner Khan and just work our way this way. Are any commission reports? I'm sorry. Each commissioner may address the HEAR Commission in public on matters of general information and/or concern. This is also the time for commissioners to report on conferences and/or meetings they have attended.
I'll think about. I don't have anything at this point. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrera.
I don't really have much. Just I guess if I may just make an announcement that I was recently appointed to the PBS and KCET Community Advisory Board. I'm pretty excited about that. It's a huge thing for me, so I just wanted to share with all of my colleagues here, commissioners. I'm pretty excited. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I attended the quarterly meeting of the Community Benefit Advisory Council at City of Hope, and I shared our mental health and wellness expo information with all the members. And the City of Hope Director of Community Benefit has put together a blueprint for creating a food insecurity program based on their work developing a community garden partnership in El Monte, and she is very open to sharing it widely in the community if there are any organizations, schools, anyone who's interested in maybe starting a program like that. And one of the other members, the YWCA of San Gabriel Valley, also shared that they will be hosting a COVID vaccination clinic on September 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. All ages are welcome, and boosters will be available as well. Their website is www.ymcasgv.org for more information. And then I also participated in the Trust for America's Health virtual congressional briefing on pain in the nation. It was focused on the epidemics of alcohol, drug, and suicide deaths. The speakers included the CEO of Mental Health America, the president of the Wellbeing Trust, and the CEO of the American Psychological Association. They presented a great deal of data around the mental health crisis that we're experiencing, and I'd highly recommend that all commissioners take a look at the presentation or the slide deck in preparation for our event. All the materials can be found at www.tcab.org tfah.org under the webinars and briefing tab, and I'll send it to Matthew to share with all of you. They discuss the community initiated care CIC model, which hypothesizes that better equipping trusted community agents with skills to help can change the trajectory of a person's mental health journey. And they define a community agent as anyone in the community from your neighbor to a barista. So I think that is kind of what we were talking about, bringing the mental health services into the community. But one powerful takeaway for me was that in June, as of June 2022, the age group with the highest reported rate of frequent suicide ideation were 8 to 13-year-olds, which is just terrible. And there's a much greater rate of suicide, twice as likely, among Black youth, particularly girls. So the briefing is about an hour and a half, but there's also a recap. There's a lot of the slide deck, a policy fact sheet, and a bunch of other resources and articles. So I'll make sure to send that to Matthew to share with everyone. And that's it for me. I look forward to seeing everyone at National Night Out, August 2nd.
Thank you, Vice Chair Goto. So I just want to take this opportunity to remind people or educate our public about opportunities to engage with our local leaders and remind them who those local leaders are if people don't know. So our Congresswoman Judy Chu is often in town participating in events, and she is very approachable. Our State Senator Susan Rubio, who represents the 22nd District, and then our State Assembly person is Mike Fong, and as Commissioner Borja said, he is having a kind of a public coffee event on August 11th from 5:30 to 7 at Blossom Market. So that's a perfect opportunity to go out and talk to him about concerns you have in our area, and just to interact with him. The other ways that you can engage with our local leaders are, we have our 411 with the chief that's our police chief, that occurs every second Tuesday of each month at City Hall. So it's a time to come out and meet with members of the police department, meet with Chief Harris, and talk about questions, concerns, appreciation, say hi, whatever you want to do. The next one is August 9th from 6 to 7:30. Our city council meetings are the first and third Tuesday of each month, and they start at 6:30, along with our HERE Commission meetings, obviously, that are the fourth Tuesday of each month and start at 6:30. Those are open to the public and also live streamed. And then finally, just to invite everyone out to the last summer concert and movie night, which is going to be this Thursday at Marshall Park. So if you haven't been to Marshall Park, which I had not, it is a beautiful park right off of New Avenue and Norwood. Yeah, so if you go go down New Avenue, if you're going to the 10 freeway and you get to Norwood and make a left, it's a beautiful park that is part of the school there. And so they're going to be showing Jumanji and having a really great concert. It starts at 7 o'clock. And then, as everyone said, we hope to see you out at National Night Out next Tuesday.
I have nothing to report, just see you all at National Night Out. Hopefully it's a great success.
I don't have anything to report, but just a reminder about it's the 988 number, which is a suicide and crisis lifeline.
I also don't have anything this month.
Thank you. So we'll go on to staff comments. So the staff members have the opportunity to address the commission and public on matters of general information and or concern. Matthew or Adrian, any staff comments?
So just one update on our senior meal or our senior programs. Those are quickly expanding. Danielle in our office is working really hard to make sure that they're accessible to the public, that they're low to no cost programs. We are also working with YWCA to expand the meal program, so it's still on Tuesdays. There's a roster of about 140 that do the 7-meal pickup on Tuesdays. So it's 5 frozen and 2 fresh meals, and then we've
Good. So with that, we will adjourn. The next regular HERE Commission meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Information regarding matters to be considered at each meeting will be available on the Friday before the HERE Commission meeting on the city's website at www.sangabrielcity.com. This regular meeting is now adjourned at 8:35 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.